I'm a certified recovery support specialist. I work for OUTLOUD. My main role is to use my experience, my strength, and my hope to help other people.
I ended up with my grandmother when I was about 2 years old. Life was a little rough. My grandmother was kind of a revolving door for the grandchildren whose, parents were on drugs. I kind of always had a dream that my mother would come back and kind of, save me from all this trauma that was going on in my life. My mother was beautiful. She was an absolutely beautiful woman. In that time, she lost the ability to talk. She lost the ability to walk, and the looks about her changed, so I took care of my mother. I would clean her head with iodine, I would give her medication and all this and that. Really just trying to enjoy the time that I had with her, because my grandmother was telling me, hey, she's not going to be here long. I don't remember if it was a nursing care or hospice. It was probably hospice. So we had to send her there, and that's where she actually passed away at. But now I'm looking at God as like, why me? So I started to have resentments towards God at a young age. Like, I'm a child. You're letting me be molested. I lost my mother. My mother is a heroin addict. I have nowhere to go. My life got very angry. I tried so hard to be a good kid, but yet no matter what I did, whatever output I got, my input was negative and hurtful. So I just kind of gave up. I was fighting more. I was so bad the teachers would tell the kids, hey, don't hang out with her, she's bad news. So I became bad news. I'm just going from couch to couch, pregnant, shooting up dope. I'm doing ecstasy. And I'm just sick in my head. I can't stop. I'm looking at this baby in my stomach, literally rolling around after I'm doing hot rolls. I can tell she's high, but I can't stop doing what I'm doing.
I wanted to die. I no longer had my kids, and I shot up meth in hopes of not waking up again. And when I woke up, I was angry, and I was angry with God. And this is the first time that I surrendered myself to Him. And I dropped to my knees, and I looked up. Cops are everywhere, surrounding us. And as soon as the handcuffs, as soon as they hit my wrist, it was the first feeling of freedom that I have had in a long time, because I knew that was God doing for me what I could not do for myself. And then as soon as I was released for Oklahoma, I had to go into Arkansas. I remember hitting the Oklahoma yard. You're in processing for 30 days, where you got 23 hours in, 1 hour out, and you don't go outside at all. And when I hit the yard for the first time, it was bright and it was sunny, and it hit my face, and I could hear Rooftops. It's a Christian song over there at the chapel. So I walked over there, and that's when my faith started to really grow. While I was in prison, my main focus was NA meetings, AA meetings, church, God, all of that. And I could really see myself change. I felt a change in myself. I just felt different. I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt peaceful, and I wanted to be service of other people. I just didn't know how yet. I went to a halfway house. Before I started working, I got into this program. It's called Our House. And what it was is it was a homeless shelter for women with children, and then they had the men's side. And I went to a school program that they had there for culinary arts, and this was like a confident builder for me, because I've never achieved anything in my entire life. So I went to this culinary arts program, completed it. I won the whole culinary cooking contest that they had, the knife events. I was on the news for it. First time I ever spoke in public. I have social anxiety so bad, so it was definitely a growth experience for me. And it was like, okay, now I have the confidence. I proved to myself that I can do this. I'm going to go on to the next level. So after that, I started working for this place called Compassion Center, which was also a homeless shelter. I got a taste of what it felt like to help other people. It felt so great. But when my daughter seen, who I am now, our relationship got so strong. And everything was good for quite a while. I started working at Subway. I was general manager of Subway. First job I really ever had. I was so proud of it. My name was on the door. Super proud of it, even though it was just Subway. But to me, it was amazing. We got a U-Haul. We packed everything that I owned, and I left that day. Headed to Bay Minette, Alabama. I actually applied at Alta Points for a housekeeping position. And when I turned my resume in, they're like, have you ever been convicted of a felony? There's that big question. Yes, I have. Very many. And so when HR called me, they were like, we have a position that we think might be better for you. And I was like, okay, what's that? And they're like, a peer position. I was like, okay, what is that? And they described it. I was like, wow, it's another God thing. I was like, okay. So as soon as I got hired on, they told me about CRSS. And it was like my purpose. Like, I was like, okay, this is what I've always wanted to do. When I first moved here, I got back into Celebrate Recovery. Celebrate Recovery was my main outlet. I moved here, started going to a coastal church here in Bay Minette. They didn't have any recovery. Bay Minette does not have much recovery at all. Okay. And so I started up the Celebrate Recovery here in Bay Minette. My job is, it keeps me sober. It makes me feel like I'm worth something. Empathy for other people and using my story that I used to be so shameful about. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm in school now. I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I'm going to have my master's in social work. And I'm just so happy, I love seeing those people that where I was at one time, and then I just give them a little touch of compassion and empathy and be like, hey, this is what I went through. This is what helped me. Let's see if it can help you. It feels so good to help people and give them that hope that, hey, you don't have to live this way. Life can be beautiful. It can be purposeful. When I wake up in the morning, before my feet hit the ground, I hit my knees. Daily devotions, educating myself. Every single day, I will get on the internet and educate myself about what's new on the street so I can use that to help other people. I try to stay very balanced. Self-care is so important. That's one of the main things that I've learned being a CRSS. Never be ashamed of what you've been through. Things that we've been through are lessons, and not just to us, but it can be to other people. Be proud of where you came from and use it to help other people. Never be ashamed.